All right, everyone, we start off today talking about Twitter. Yet again, Elon Musk has managed to make the platform relevant again, which is always nice. Massive numbers of people climbing onto my actual account there, by the way. I think I've been unshadow banned, and so for several days running, I'm almost getting 1,000 new people following it every single day. To be clear, that growth is in excess of any other platform. Some of this is just people returning to the platform who had been banned or had decided to abandon it because now it's under new management. But I think shadow banning does play a role in that, mainly because I checked. I had been shadow banned before and I'm not now. Musk, link in the description, not archived, this is one of his posts, is conducting another poll. Of course, the former poll was whether to bring back Donald Trump to the platform. And fairly narrowly, admittedly, people voted yes. And so he said, okay, yeah, and pressed the switch and Donald Trump's account is back. Now, Trump has said he doesn't intend to use the platform. I think that the temptation will eventually get to him, especially since he's announced that he's running for re-election. The ability to speak to the near 100 million people already following him there, I think counterbalances his loyalty to Truth Social, which he helped to create. He will have to post first on Truth Social. There's a contractual obligation there unless he decides to abandon his share in the company, which would destroy it because that's literally the reason it exists, was to give him a voice when it was stripped away from him by other corporations. I think he'll be tempted, though, to at least cross-post on the platform. Now, this poll has to do with something even more interesting. Should general amnesty be granted to accounts that were banned unless it was for spammy behavior or illegal content? This is exactly what I wanted Elon Musk to do. The fact that he did restore Trump, much to great applause by some people and extreme derision by others, shows me that he will probably follow through with it. That means that all of the old great accounts, left, right, and center, mostly on the right because there's a disproportionate wave of bans that were aimed at them, would be restored, unless they were engaged specifically in something that's illegal or spammy. This is the TOS that all websites should actually have. Under 230, if you want to be a platform, you should not also be a publisher. That was the entire intent. The spirit of Section 230 was to grant wide latitude on moderation to sites, partially with the recognition that the sites cannot physically moderate all of the content. They had grown too large, and they're like, look, and we've got 1 million videos being uploaded every day on this site. We cannot hire enough people to actually go through them all for reporting purposes. And yet these sites have branched out, despite the fact that they argue, and this is why 230 was there in the first place, they told Congress we can't moderate all the content. They have allowed illegal content, illicit porn, terroristic threats, defamation, copyright infringement, etc., to thrive on their platform, sometimes to the point, including with Twitter, that they get sued for it. They're being sued by multiple litigants right now for knowingly hosting illicit pornographic material, and yet they went on a ban spree. They had the time to ban people for harassment, which often boiled down to simply offending someone, not using the right pronouns, using pedestrian goddamn slurs against one another. Even in a satirical context, you got people that were banned for literally making jokes on Twitter. They were banned, and yet Twitter turned a blind eye to material on there that is legally actionable. To the point of the egregious nature was so great that they're being sued for it, again, by multiple litigants. I absolutely support this. I think that if the poll carries, and it looks like it will, you should all participate if you have a Twitter account, by the way. Yes, vote yes on amnesty for all accounts. I think he'll make good on it. I think he will actually go through and begin mass unbanning people that are legitimate content creators, and somebody just threw a bitch fit about them. There was a raid on their material, a flagging raid or something like that. They can actually come back on the platform. This is what Elon Musk pledged that he would look into. It's clear that negotiations with the ADL and the SPLC predictably fell through, and so now he said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to go rogue. And that's exactly what the site needs. It's also exactly what the site needs to grow and to eventually become profitable again. When you say, well, a lot of their top advertisers have left, they're hemorrhaging money. That was already a problem before Elon Musk took over. Their Twitter shares were beginning to tank before Elon Musk even talked about potentially acquiring the company. The legacy media is not being forthcoming about this truth, by the way, with their readership, which is dwindling for a reason. You saw CBS News very temporarily decide to pull its use of Twitter. 48 hours later, they're back. Why do you think that is? They're getting more engagement on Twitter than they get on their main webpage, probably. One of the few legacy media outlets that doesn't appear to be botting, unlike Xinhua News and CNN and many others, which, by the way, keep getting ratioed whenever they talk about this and similar subjects. Mass shooters, Balenciaga, or whatever that fucking clothing line is. And by the way, that got creepier too. We'll probably have to give an update later on the live stream with regards to even more creepy and bizarre photo shoots that they've sponsored. It looks like it wasn't just a one-off, just to be clear. But he's optioning it. Oh, there are other shenanigans. I've seen some obvious propaganda behavior. I don't know whether it's Clinton-sponsored, David Brock-sponsored, or whatever. They're all involved in trying to dogpile Twitter because they're terrified that Trump will regain his voice. And oh my God, this platform with 100 million users all of a sudden will allow people to say populistic things. Well, that might delay the Great Reset. Oh my God, we got to do something about this. So they're freeing up probably billions of dollars to attack Twitter right now. You're wasting your ammo, dude. I don't think it's going to work because Elon Musk has plenty of money in other holdings, by the way. Anyway, I see some people saying, well, this is a honeypot. It's look at the wording. They're mentioning amnesty. This is actually a litmus test for illegal immigration. Yes, the left is so desperate to try to stop Elon Musk from unbanning accounts that they think should be censored. Alex Jones should be part of that, by the way. Still going to hold that over Musk's head. That they are resorting to QAnon levels of conspiracy theory with regards to the goddamn wording of an Elon Musk poll. Very interesting. They have switched tactics. When you switch ships mid-river, it's not usually a sign that things are going well. So when I look at the frenetic attacks on Twitter and on Musk by the left, and again, I am not part of the Elon Musk worship cult, but he is doing a far better job than old Twitter management, and he's only been there for a goddamn few weeks. When that happens, it makes me ask a few questions. Well, how effective were your negotiations? Which are probably closed door. You won't hear much about that. There's another option that Elon Musk has put forward. This will be a main topic, by the way, for today's live stream. I pledge that I will actually do the live stream today. I was a little bit low energy for a couple days. Other shit was going on. I'm going to prioritize family over, the content creation when it's necessary to do so. So, I'm a dad now. I'm allowed to make dad jokes. So, await that video in the future where I just sit there cracking lame one-liners and I make you all cringe to the point where you drive a pencil into your eyeballs so that you won't have to see my feed anymore. Another option, and this is far more interesting, again we'll get into it more later, is should Twitter release the internal documentation of their talks with the government about Hunter Biden's laptop prior to the 2020 election. Oh boy, are we in for a goddamn treat if those are released. Of course, keeping in mind some of that might be literally classified and so probably won't get released. A rough outline of what was said and by whom would be nice. Yeah, I like the direction in which Twitter is going. It's not exactly new tech, but when you have a gigantic platform reverting to the pre-2016 style of internet moderation, in which people can speak much more freely, if not completely freely, it is a definite improvement. You've peeled back the most obnoxious layers of censorship that exist on the internet, at least for the purposes of one already built website. I think that's important. I encourage you to participate in the poll, and I love the propaganda that I'm seeing with regards to this. It's fucking hilarious. It's a sign of the weakness and fragility of the left. They don't want to lose their former left-wing echo chamber. In closing, I would like to point out one other thing. When they say, several legacy media outlets have run with this story, the majority of accounts being restored so far seem to be far right. You're effectively admitting that the majority of accounts that were banned for behavior that is not illegal or spammy in nature were right-wing, at least under the colloquial usage of that term, which isn't proper. Yeah, no shit. We told you for years Twitter was a left-wing echo chamber. Its moderation staff had like fucking woke shirts and shit like that in the closet. Yeah, they primarily focused on banning people with certain political opinions, to the exclusion of doing their proper job, which is to get rid of the illegal content, the dogpiling, harassment, and doxing raids, false flagging people, spam and bots that clutter the platform. They ignored that. They simply went after content creators who had pissed off some well-chosen leftoid who happens to have a lot of money. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. It's a tacit admission of that being a reality. That's about all. Peace out.